Hi everybody, it's Di here from Diane. Oh, sorry, I didn't bring my card in straight away. I had everything around the wrong way. So I'm going to show you how I made this card. It's a gatefold card, but instead of having a belly band around it, it has this slider that slides off to open the card. So when it stands up, you can stand up with this nice slider sitting in front of it, or you could pop it down one side and leave it at the bottom so that it shows up like so. I just think it's a lovely idea for a change from a normal gatefold card, and it's called a slide and lock card. So let me pop this back on here, which is not always the easiest thing to do, but you'll get there, and it just goes on really nicely. And this card is going to be for my Christmas blog hop that I'm doing with my girls and with the girls that I'm in the same group as. So I will leave the link for that down the bottom as well, so you can see that for my blog. So that's the card we're going to make. Show you what we're going to be using. We're going to be using the layering circles. We're going to be using Pansy Patch for the happy birthday and wishing you a little extra happiness just because you're you. We're going to be using the delicate petals only for the flowers, these ones here. I've already cut them and made them up. They're all sitting here. I don't know that I'm going to use all four, but I've got them sitting there anyway. And then I'm going to be using the Forever Blossom for this nice sprig of flowers just here. So let me tell you what pieces of card we need. We need a card base that measures 5 7/8 by 8 1/4. Yes, that's right. For the outside, you're going to need 2 pieces of card that measure 1 3/4 by 5 5/8 and 1 1/2 by 5 3/8 of our designer series paper. Now I'm using designer series paper that has actually retired, but I still had some left and I wanted to use it up. For my insert, my piece measures 5 5/8 by 3. Oh, I broke a nail. 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. And then my other piece measures 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. That's going to annoy me. Never mind. We're going to need some circles. So we're going to need 4 circles, and this is the 4th size down in the circles. That measures, oh, I don't know what it measures now, but it's the 4th size down, and you're only going to need 4 of those. So that's 4 of them. You're going to need 3 other circles. This is the 3rd size down in the scallop circle, the 3rd size down in the plain circles, and the 4th size down in the scallop circle. So you're going to need those for our circles. That is really annoying me, and I don't even have a nail file in here. So it will just have to stay. Okay, so let's start with our main card, and we're going to score this. Oh, we need our other scoreboard. We need to score this on the long side at 2 1/16 of an inch. We need to move that cutting blade out of the way because we don't want to cut it. So 2 1/16 of an inch that way, and then we're going to do the same this way, 2 1/16 of an inch, and we're going to do that way. Okay, so we're now going to fold our card, and you will see that our card comes together with a tiny little gap down the middle. Now the whole idea of that is because we need to have that tiny little bit of a gap down the middle there. It's not very much, and it doesn't have to be much, but it's just enough so that the thing will the slider will slide down there. If they were butting up against one another, it's not going to slide. So while we've got that done, we might as well put our pieces of designer series paper onto our layers, and then we can pop them onto the front of the card. If you find that when you've scored yours and everything, they are touching, you can quite easily just trim a small piece off of those. Now I've had to do that on one of mine before. I don't know why. I think sometimes the card is not quite right in sizing. Sometimes it just seems like they're a little bit different from one day to the next. Well, not one day to the next, but one pack to the next. So then they can go onto the front of our cards like so. Oh dear, what's that? Ugh, I don't know, maybe it was a dead bug. But we'll get rid of that, it won't show, one good thing. There we go, see, no show. And then the other one on the other side. Just those colours together look so beautiful. As I say, if you find that when you're ready to put your slider on that it's just not sliding because it's just too big, we will trim it. So once we get that far, we'll have a look. So let's get our main piece of our insert, and oh yuck, I've got the crap all over my fingers now. I don't know if that was that dead insect or what. And I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper, and I'm going to stamp my inside of my card with this flower. Now I won't need the whole flower, but that's why I'm bringing in my piece of scrap, because I just want to put half the flower down the bottom here. So I think that if you put the whole flower, I think it would just be way too much. And then I will put my insert message here by the side of it, and that's our insert all stamped. I've got my petal pink. Oh, actually I've got light papaya here. I thought I had petal pink. Doesn't matter, it's very similar in colour. So I'm going to be using pale papaya, and I'm going to, oh, if I can get the lid off, colour my flowers. And because my other card is pool party, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my leaves pool party, so that they actually match in with the front of the card. So I'm just giving these a quick wash over with the pale papaya, and I will then use the dark pale papaya to go over the darker bits in the centre and up the edges. And the same around the bottom of this one and the middle of this one, along with these bits around the edge that are darker. And then we'll use our pool party in the light, whoops, again to do our leaves, just so that it actually matches in colour wise with the outside of the card. Just think that sometimes it doesn't matter what colour they are, as long as it matches. It doesn't matter if the leaves are not green or... So I'm using the darker one just to go over the parts that are actually shaded, so that it looks like that matches in. There we go, that's the inside of our card piece done. So we can now glue that to our other piece here. Oh, that looks actually gorgeous. I forgot to put the pin in my glue again, but it seems to be running okay, so we'll let that go. And whoops, that's our insert done, and we will pop that onto the inside of our card now, so that it's all out of the way. and then we can work on our sliding locking mechanism. Okay, so that's our card done. As you can see, you can just see there's a gap down there, which is what we want. So what we want to do now is we actually want to, using the large scalloped one, we want to turn it over so that the back's showing, and we're going to stick, in this case I'm going to stick the one that's a funny colour white, onto the back of this. Alright, so this is just a guide one, so that we've got this in the centre. So for us it doesn't matter that it is a wrong colour, because we won't notice it. And then with 2 more of these circles, we're going to fold them in half and burnish them down nice and hard. I'm going to do that with 2 of them. Okay, burnish that one down nice and hard, and then we're going to pop some glue on half of this, and we're going to pop this on top of the other circle so we can open it up so that it matches up with half the circle. Okay, like so. So we've got this flat piece here, and then we're going to do exactly the same with the other half a circle. Oops, come here. We're going to pop a piece of glue along this one edge, and we're going to glue that, butting it up against this one here, and making sure that it's even all the way around, so if it's sitting on top you can't even see it. And then with our last circle, we're going to pop this one on top of this circle here, like so, so that it's all nice and neatly covered up, and that's our locking mechanism all in there like so. Can you see that? So what we're going to do now is turning it over so that the front's showing, and I'm going to pop my plain circle onto the front. Now I'm going to pop my thing in my glue, because I can feel it starting to dry a bit, and pop that onto there. Okay, and then I'm going to try this down my card. So lifting those ends up a tiny bit like so, not really very clever of me, I was off screen there a bit. I'm going to pop this onto here. Oh, come on, get in, and we can see whether that, look at that, it slides beautifully. So, okay, so that slides beautifully down onto that. That just needs to be put down a nice hard edge along them. Right, once we've done that, that can sit on there for now, because we're now going to do the rest of our stamping, which is our happy birthday, which I'm going to stamp down the bottom here. Right, and pop that out of the way, and then we can glue this one. Oh gosh, I can feel how tight this glue is getting around the edges. We're going to glue this one onto the front of the card now, because we know that we have this in the right orientation. So we can glue that on there, or we could have put it on with some dimensions if we wanted to. Now I think with this one here I put it on with dimensions, but this one I've just glued it flat, because I've got these, and these actually sit up fairly high. So I'm going to put, I think 2, or should I put 3? I think we'll start off with 2 and then we'll see how it looks. So I'm going to use some dimensions on these, on the back of these, and I'll pop one just here. I think 3 will look good actually. Yep, I think 3. And then the other green one here, or whole pool party one here, making sure that I can still read my happy birthday. I don't want to cover my happy birthday up so that it can't be read. and then my other one in the center, just here. I'm going to pop this, I don't know, like, let's see, like so. That's it, that's better. So that one we won't need, and so that's my 3 flowers on the front of that, and that's our card. I hope you've enjoyed that. Oh dearie me. I hope you've enjoyed this week's card. I really love this idea. It's such a beautiful idea, you know, it's different for locking the card up, and it's really easy. Once you slide one end in, just pop the other one, open it up a bit, slide it in, and then you can push it down like so. Whoops, like so. I'm trying not to use that broken fingernail. And it slides down really lovely and flat. So if you would like the written tutorial for this, you will find that over on Di's Den for stamping, crafting and tutorials, and the link will be down below, down here. It is written in English, obviously, and with imperial and metric measurements on the written tutorial. And we would love to see you over in our little group. So if you would like that, please head on over and join us. If you've enjoyed today's card, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I do answer all of my comments, so it might take me a couple of days, especially if I'm away on holidays or something, but I do answer all my comments. So I hope you would have enjoyed this, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.